I guess what I would love to spend a few minutes on, because I understand the idea of waiting to see what happens, but we've already seen a little bit of what's going to happen with the workers. I was the one who called 911 at the school board's direction multiple times, because when they closed Montgomery Avenue, everybody cut through Saybrook Road and Claremont Road. We had mornings where guys were driving, and I'm not a traffic expert, but my eyes tell me if 25 is the speed limit, people are doing 45, 50 down our street. I had a neighbor dive into the grass to avoid a guy who we saw every day. We called the police, and I totally understood the officer's position that we didn't have an enforceable law I shouldn't say enforceable law, and a way to enforce the speed law. So what I would like to spend a couple minutes on is maybe changing course on the whole wait and see, and let's be proactive on a couple of things that might be able to be done. One of the things that we can't do in our neighborhood right now, because Lower Merion uses VASCAR for speed enforcement, is we have nowhere in the neighborhood that has the white stripes. Andy, you mentioned the area by the stop sign at Stone Ridge and Saybrook. That hill coming down is one of the most abused areas of speeding in our neighborhood. I would love to propose that VASCAR stripes be put on our street. I'd like to propose that stop sign be turned into a four-way stop. That gives us things that your officers can enforce. They can enforce it without having to stretch what's reasonable for enforcement. The other thing that I would love to hear from the school board is some of the intangibles. You were talking about people coming in from Montgomery Avenue, and since we are going to have a nice little sidewalk there and there's a big set of steps, the easiest thing is to just pull in, stop right in front of Asha's house and let people run across the street and run up. How are we going to deter parents from doing that? I don't personally believe in a town like Lower Merion, and let's call a spade here. People feel very entitled around here. I don't feel like in a town like Lower Merion, when the school sends a note home with students asking parents not to do that it's going to do any good. Are we going to have the support of the police to just not enforce a law? There's no law to enforce, there's a rule to enforce. The rule is you can't get dropped off here. Get back in your car, drive all the way around, and get in line like everybody else. I'd like to know what the plans for that are, because we saw this abused with the workers, and we still see it today. We had a guy blow through our bus stop last week, and he's a worker. We see him every day. He goes to the school. Blew through our bus stop as the bus turned on its lights.